If you feel like you struggle to get depth in your squat, or whenever you do squats, you always seem to get stuck at that parallel position, you can't go any further, we're gonna cover a couple exercises today that could potentially help, and then I'll also go over the areas they're focused on. These are nice because you can fit them into your warm-up. You start doing these consistently and it'll clean up your squat. It's gonna feel a lot better. Check it out. Okay, so if I'm looking to improve squat depth with someone, one of the first things I want to check is the foot and ankle motion. So a quick test you can do is, if you want to check the right foot, you put the right foot out in front of you, you have your shin behind the foot and ankle, then you slowly try to translate your knee over your toes. If you feel pinching in the front of your ankle, or your heel starts to pop off, that means you have an issue that you need to work on. And one easy drill that you can do to focus on this is similar to the test actually. So you get in the same position, you want to feel heel heavy into the ground. You want to make sure also, it's probably better to do this barefoot, because you want to make sure your toes aren't gripping. So the way you do this is shin behind the foot and ankle, slowly translate the knee forward. As it translates forward, you want to allow yourself to rotate away from the foot that you're working on. So if it's right foot forward, translate the knee forward and then turn to my left. All the while, I want to make sure I keep my heel heavy, and I want to pay attention that I'm not gripping my toes too much. If I grip my toes, I'm limiting the ability of the ankle to move, the foot to move, and the knee to translate forward, which is really important for squats. The next big thing we want to look at is the ability of the hips to rotate. If you don't have internal rotation specifically, a lot of times when you go to do a squat, say you do a kettlebell squat like this, a goblet squat, when you reach this level, you'll feel stuck, or your hips might get pinchy. If that's the case, you usually don't have access to that motion, and we need to work on that. So one of the best ways I'll start working on that with somebody is getting them into, a lot of people call this a shin box position or a 90-90 position. And you can do all kind of moves here, but a good one to start on is, if I want to work on internal rotation in the back hip, I'll get in this position. Left hip is behind me, the one I'm working on improving the rotation on. I'll lift the right knee and I'll push a little bit to try to sit my sit bone a little closer down to the ground. Now you may not be able to get to the ground without getting a pinch in the hip, but you want to lift this knee, start breathing slowly in and out, and with each exhale, see if you can get that sit bone a little bit closer down to the surface you're sitting on. I would do a couple sets, 5 or 6 reps. Again, you don't want to push it, you don't want to force it, you want to let it happen with the breathing in and out. So with each exhale, allow yourself to relax and sit deeper into this position. Okay, so we've worked on foot and ankle motion. We've gone over the importance of internal rotation of the hips. One of the final things we're going to look at is the ability of the glutes to lengthen and the ability of the back of the pelvis, or the pelvic outlet, to open, which will allow you to drop down into your squat better, allow you to get better depth. You can do this a number of ways. One of the best ways to do it is in hinges. And one of the best places I like to start is actually in a tall kneeling hinge. So if you're not on a soft surface, get a pad like I've got. And I'm gonna actually use a kettlebell here. So this is a good way to train it. I'll show you how to do it with a kettlebell and then without. So if you've got a kettlebell with you, put it behind just like this, and all you have to do is think about shifting your sit bones directly back into the kettlebell. Just like this. So the thing driving the movement, the only way my torso comes down like this is not my spine bending, it's my sit bones going back. Just like this. Back like this, and the hips are coming forward to come up tall. Once you get comfortable with that, you can put your hands on your waist here. Same thing. Hips go back, and the only way my torso comes down is my sit bones, and my hips have to go straight back, just like this. So I'll do about 5 reps, and then on the last one, I really want you to sit down into it and hold. You're going to think a long neck in this position, sit bones are back, holding, breathing in and out. Slow, controlled breaths, 4 or 5 reps. You should really start to feel the back of the pelvis and the glutes really contracting, lengthening. You might feel a subtle stretch even. It's kind of a different sensation than a lot of people have gotten before. So give these a shot and your squat depth can really start to improve. You'll really start to notice some differences if you're consistent.